Well, and on the note of the classrooms, I feel like closing them off from the outside world is like disconnecting them from nature. You know, with no window to look out of, it's like Tolkien would roll in his grave.
There's a wretched sort of imprisoned feeling that it's impossible to stave off when you're like an hour and a half into a 2-hour lecture and you're just no nature anywhere. You're just stuck in this little badly painted cubicle with walled up windows. It's kind of like asylumatic or something.
Yeah, you feel like they're deciding that, you know, what's best for these students is to put them in a classical education asylum. You know, put them in straitjackets and lock them in chairs and
Yeah, so we can just keep trying to figure, you know, just hit a bunch of topics that we considering thinking about, or we can try and figure out a good one to talk about.
Yeah,
You could just say what you think about Moscow or something.
That's fair. I've never lived in a place like Moscow before. You know, a place where there's like a vibrant reformed community.
Yeah.
That is literally at war, you know, with the powers that be. Like where I come from, it's a bunch of these, you know, willy-nilly, soft-spined, contemporary non-denom churches.
Yeah, it's true that it'll be difficult to find a place in America where the city council is so actively hostile to like a church community, the missions and actions of a church. Like the amount of times they try and bog us down with stupid red tape.
Oh, I'm sure it's insane.
Like just getting into CJ's. Oh, dude. Getting CJ's, the building, they were making the biggest fuss.
Was this where North Campus is now? Or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
that's right.
Before my time.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know it's CJ's. Yeah, so getting that building, there were like drunks that would come and protest, or people who were self-described as, you know, back when CJ's was in thing, you know, yeah, there were fights. I was in a few of them. It was stuff like that, where it's like,
oh, that's right. It was like the bar with the
How is the city council sincerely siding with this bar brawler against a college trying to get room to be able to educate more students? Because like the whole thing of the progressive left is their idea. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I was about to say we can't miss this.
Yeah. Well, this is probably not even going to make it in the video.
No, that's fair.
Well, unless we are doing thoughts on Moscow. The whole idea behind the progressive left is they call themselves progressive because they think any evil can be undone with education. So college is supposed to be the greatest good. That's the way they get everyone to come to college, is by kind of subconsciously brainwashing that idea, that principle into people. And then once they're at college, you can give them all the dirty thoughts you want, all the leftoid thoughts.
And then just call it, you know, oh, it's progress from, you know, this traditional establishment that's enslaved you.
Anyway, I just point that out to say that makes it so much more funny that like the city council, dominated by leftists, is their like greatest joy is to be putting stumbling blocks in front of NSA.
Yeah, we can't let them educate people.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy if we did.
Remember how we always say it's bad? You know, remember that one?
No, the U of I education though, that's top tier education right there. That's where, you know, great minds are molded.
You see, the liberal arts degree is a piece of trash unless it's done by the U of I. Then those same classes, that you could take at the U of I, just with where they're way less difficult and educational, are better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know.
There's
what
a lot.
I'm saying anymore.
Also, speaking about NSA, you know, like expanding and whatnot, how do you think they're gonna be able to like keep expanding without dorms? Because living space is like harder and harder to come by. And I know it's like cool having a vision of no dorms or whatever, but I don't know how feasible it is logistically to like keep that up.
I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember why exactly what the principle is against dorms. This is kind of freaky. I'm gonna have to. Oh, I made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what the principle against dorms is, but
But it's there somewhere.
yeah. Ooh. Okay, I overhyped that. Yeah, I think it's they don't want to be like holding our hand. I think that was the thing. They want their students to be out here, like making their own way, paving a path forward, rather than having college subsidized living areas. Anyway, there's a lot of housing in Moscow. There
Oh,
are
really?
ways to.
Oh, okay. To see, yeah, what I've always been like, from what I've been told by other freshmen who haven't found a space, who are, you know, going to be sophomores next year, haven't found a space to live yet. All they've told me is that it's like difficult to find one.
Yeah.
At least that's what I've heard. I don't know, because I'm just staying at the same place I was this year.
Wait. What?
Did that not make sense? I guess from what I've been told by people who are looking for living space,
Yeah.
it's difficult to find. I wouldn't know from personal experience though, because I'm
Yeah.
just staying at the same place. So I just signed the contract again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's tons and tons of apartment complexes around the universe, especially in Moscow. And some people opt for that now. It's unideal. It's more fun to be in a big old house of big boys. But yeah, I don't know what they'll do about housing. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think generally what they do is when a student's like, hey, I'm having a hard time finding a house, they just put it in an email and then somehow it gets solved. Like somebody calls them up, hey, I've got a place in my basement with chains. I can put you in them.
If you'd like to live in my basement, I got room for you, brother.
Yeah, there are quite a few people doing your situation where they just room with some sort of family or other. Yeah, like even Dr. Harmon got kids in his basement.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's got like 4 dudes in his basement, I think.
Yeah.
Kreft and like 3 freshmen.
Kreft has been there for the full 4.
Yo, really?
Yeah, he's big into that place, I guess.
Which is crazy because he doesn't actually fit.
Yeah, so he's big into that place. Yeah, that's no good of a joke. Yeah. So, any other thoughts? Like the big. Any other bits of Cayenne in Moscow that really hit your tongue in a magic way?
Yeah. I mean, besides
I like that word.
it's a good word. Besides the school and the church community, there's not much else.
I like
More
the
so because
extremity of weather that we get.
Is like, I know the winters are kind of crazy,
Yeah.
which I'm not feeling the hottest about.
Yeah.
In more ways than one. But
Or don't.
but is the summers like extreme as well?
Yeah, it gets really hot. Not humid hot. I mean, you can feel the air right now. It's so dry.
Yeah.
But it gets way drier. All this grass that's green is mainly brown. It turns into the verb I use to describe the heat is microwave, because I step outside and it's like the cool thing is the shade is actually cooler because there's no humidity to just like greenhouse effect disperse the
Yeah.
heat. It's like noticeably cooler in the shade, but the sun, it like you can feel it scraping your epidermis, just ripping. Well, as a ginger, you're kind of pale too, so you'd probably
No,
feel
I feel the same. Well, yeah, back home that's the same way as, and I'm so glad it is dry. You know, like it's all dry heat.
Yeah, you can't swim through the air, which is sad because I like to be able to fly. That'd be fun.
Which, dude,
Just
there's
dog
like
it
some
back.
freshmen who like enjoy having it really humid,
Disgusting.
and I'm like, yeah, kill me. You know, I would rather not.
I like when my body is lubed with sweat.
It's like, no, I'll pass. You know.
I like sweat to be effective, you know. Dry heat, sweat comes to your skin, evaporates as you run or something, and you like when you feel the wind, you feel the wind. It's good. It's evaporating you, cooling you down.
Yeah.
But I imagine with humidity, humidity, sweat is like not effective at doing its job.
No.
It just kind of pops out on the surface and says, "Hey guys, hey my other moisture droplets, yo, let's
Pile
chill."
on the water in here. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. Humidity sucks.
So anyway, the fact that we get like a full 4 seasons. Also, Moscow in the fall is just like that's iconic Moscow.
No.
When everything's red and yellow and brown, it's like, oh, this is downtown with all the trees. It's kind of barren right now because spring
Is just coming.
yeah, just beginning to bud. But
Well, that was one of the coolest things for
Yeah.
me coming from a place where it's practically 2 seasons. It's either cold or hot. You know, there's not
Right.
like spring, summer, winter, fall. And so, spring, summer, fall, winter. Yeah. And so just like showing up here and all of a sudden it's like colors, kazam, was really cool to see. And it was like, wow, Moscow is beautiful.
yeah,
It is not a non-photogenic place.
any words of wisdom for freshmen that are definitely not gonna watch this video, but theoretically could?
Yeah, theoretically, to future NSA freshmen, coming from a guy who like just came out of his in his last term of freshman year, even the classes. Okay. Even the classes
I'm gonna do a trapeze.
put work into all your classes, I guess. Even the classes that don't make sense, that you don't understand why they're teaching you like oral skills, for instance. At first you're like, why am I learning, how to do solfege patterns,
Right.
rhythm syllables? But then by the end you're like, wow, this makes sense. Rhetoric, it's like, why should I put effort in the rhetoric? And then by 3rd and 4th term you're like, oh, this is why I should put effort in the rhetoric, because it actually makes me a better rhetorician.
Yeah, it pays off. Freshman year is kind of brilliantly paced at NSA, where the whole time you kind of feel like your head's underwater, but you get to the end and you're like, oh my goodness, I can like basically sight read a hymn.
Yeah.
And I could not do that at the beginning of the year. And there are a bunch of different examples of that, like theology. The way, I don't know if they did this with you, but back when I was doing it, when it was 2 different classes,
Mhm.
like the first class was, we're going to stop all of your theological knowledge right now, break everything down, make you realize you can't even answer what is God, like what is God the Father, and what is his relationship to the Son, and then completely rebuild you with a robust system for theology. And now you can interpret the entirety of Scripture much better than you could, before you came. Basically, every single one of those classes is that sort of groundbreaking sort of thing. And it's really easy to get overwhelmed. So the best antidote for that is soup night, social events. It's worth getting into play even if you think you're not going to have time to do homework when you're in the play, just because of that's one of the best social events to be a part of. The NSA play.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it's something where like obviously I don't know the financial situation of people coming in, but try and put school and social life above work. And if you have to work, do what you have to do. But it's like Josiah said, they like first term, they lay down these foundations for you in all the classes, and you're wondering why, why the foundations? What is this going to do for me?
It feels basic at first.
Yeah, you feel so basic, and you're like, I feel like a child. Like I'm being taught to like I'm a child. And then all of a sudden they start building on that foundation, and you're like, okay, this is getting a little more tricky.
Yeah, and quicker than anything. It just piles.
It just starts piling, and third and fourth term, you're like, holy mackerel. From first term, I couldn't have done any of this, but now I can read and speak Latin. I can sight read hymns. I can, sing well in a choir. I can give improv speeches that are actually good speeches. It's just really crazy what they do in just 1 year. It's an extraordinary change.
The freshman year is really unique. And so all the people who come to NSA do freshman year and then stop because they realize, hey, I feel like I'm kind of stagnating in my career, or I just don't have enough money to make it the full 4, which was both of those reasons contributed to me taking an AA, plus other stuff. It's still, that first year is still very much worth it. It's so formative. And also just being away from your parents and having to scrounge, going full like sewer rat mode where you're just like fighting for nutrients, showing up to soup night and like devouring, showing up to tea times and like staving people off from the table as you reach for the last bagel.
Not only growing you intellectually, but maturing you, forcing you to become an adult, making you realize how much you depended on your parents for just everyday things, and then taking that all away from you and saying do it on your own. Even if you're just coming for freshman year, it's like, oh, maybe school's not for me, I'm just gonna try the first year. It's worth it. Like Josiah said, it's absolutely worth it. You wonder, why the heck would I want to learn Latin? And then by the end of fourth term, you understand why the heck you'd want to learn Latin.
I've used the word avuncular before, and that is 100% only due to Latin.
What the heck does that even mean?
It means uncle-ish, essentially.
Avuncular?
Uncle-ish.
Yeah, but what's the...
avuncular.
Avuncular.
The Latin word avunculus, or aunculus. I can't even remember it now. Means uncle. And then I used it one time and I was like, what is my vocabulary? Latin will do special stuff like that to you.
Yeah, and not only it broadens your understanding of English in such an extraordinary and unique way, because you'll find yourself reading English, like for me, someone who didn't really learn proper English grammar, and then coming to NSA and learning Latin grammar, all of a sudden you're reading English and you're like, oh, that's an ablative of means. Oh, that's a genitive.
Yeah.
That's a ablative absolute construct. Yeah. It's
let alone gerunds and participles. I mean, the average high school graduate is not gonna, nowadays, maybe different in times past, But nowadays, I mean, given that they're barely literate, probably not going to know what a participle is, let alone how to use one.
No. I didn't know
Yeah.
when I came to NSA.
And then there's stems and prefixes and all this other rubbish that all, it just kind of, it's there and you know what the stem of a word is without realizing you're consciously using that to break down English words and transition a noun to a goofy adjective or something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Man, it's
real.
wild the way it transforms you. Also, it flies by. Like, not gonna lie, I don't feel like 9 months has gone by already.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Like, it's you come to orientation week, you're in Prologus week, you know, getting thrown into the jumble, and you feel like you're, you know, gonna drown. And then the first few weeks happen, you're like, oh wait, this is easier than I thought it'd be. And then 9 months later, you all of a sudden are like, oh,
25% done.
yeah,
With college as a thing in my life.
I'm, you know, yeah, college is a quarter over. If I do the full 4 years, next year I, you know, have to pretend to be this responsible sophomore to all these incoming freshmen.
Yeah, dude, it's such a weird transition. That one, realizing I just barely did this, and now NSA kind of defaults that simply because I went through it, I am able to like support freshmen and
Yeah, they expect you to be an expert.
be able to help them out and like socialize with them and get them into. It's like I just finished being a freshman. How am I'm not this great sage.
I know,
but
they're like sophomores.
realize-
Go teach, you know, rhetoric purgatory or whatever. You're like,
can.
what the devil? How am I supposed to do that?
That's my expletive.
I used that back in the day.
Yeah, back in the 1800s
Yeah,
in your previous life.
before I was reincarnated
Yeah.
as my former or my present self.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's the people, of course, which is, I mean, the people are the community, so nothing, you remove all the people who did all the stuff out here, and you don't have out here.
Yeah, no. Now you're saying that as in like not just on a Doug Wilson, Toby Sumter level, but on a like everyone level.
There's so much happening in Moscow. Legitimately today I've got something right now, which is roughly 1 o'clock. I've got something at 2:30. I've got something at 3. I've got something at 4:30. I've got something at 6. I've got something at 7:30. Most of those are singing events because I'm an addict, but some of them are not.
No, that is actually
Also,
so
it's my
true.
dad's birthday.
Oh,
So,
you didn't let me know that. I guess I just met him yesterday. Though, so
and it's
why
my
not?
last day doing sound, it's my last day having done the sound technician stuff for Christchurch for both services. So, busy times. And this is me trying to cut ties and not commit to anything right before I leave for the Air Force. So, Moscow is a profoundly busy place. Even if somehow you could like remove Doug Wilson from it and just keep everybody else,
It would still be bustling.
Is that bad?
Where?
I thought I just heard like a resonant baritone singing.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Oh well, that would be a hilarious addition.
Just throw Ben Coons into the mix. Did he ever go to NSA?
No, but he leads multiple things that
Yeah.
are kind of NSA events.
No, that's fair. That is very fair. Yeah, no, it is crazy the amount of stuff in Moscow and just how busy everyone is. Like the amount of stuff that people pile on their plates and then juggle a couple of those plates at a time. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
I come from a much more like slower, laid back community. And so coming up here, it's all of a sudden like you're thrown in the fast lane, which is pretty cool though, because there's always something that you can go to.
Yeah, something you ought to be doing, even if you aren't taking full advantage of it. The amount of plays and sports and things like, yeah, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed by all that as well. But a lot of the sort of optional things you take on because you enjoy them are invigorating rather than enervating. They don't steal your energy, they give you more.
No, that's actually very true.
It's hard to, like, if I had 5 hours to read 200 pages of something, and I could either do this, wake straight up and read for 5 hours and then be done, or I could wake straight up, then socialize with some people, get into a good mood, feel the communion of the Holy Spirit and whatever, and then with 3 hours left, read it. You're gonna have a better experience even if you don't. Yeah, it's gonna be less soul draining than if you just crank through. This is a very bad analogy.
No, but I understand what you're saying though.
Yeah,
It's
because it's hard to think of, like, if I just kind of wiped myself clean of having any context of experiences, I just read for 5 hours. But that's what I'm trying to get at. Obviously, in real life, time is linear. This is getting a little Christopher Nolan. Which is,
that's actually good. That's where we want to go. Chris Nolan, the GOAT.
yeah.
No, but that's actually true. Like, there have been times where, it's been a Sunday afternoon and all of a sudden I find my ox in the ditch. And I'm like, oh snap, I gotta do this school before Monday morning. It's like, well, or I could go over to dinner at someone's house, wake up early Monday morning and try and get it done. Maybe not get it all done, but I'll have a much better 2 days because of the time I spent with people than if I had just poured it into straight schoolwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sanctify your Sabbaths whenever you come up here.
Yeah.
It enlivens the soul in a way I did not expect.
Yeah, that's a great tip, is respect the Sabbath. Commandment number 4.
Yeah.
Honor the Sabbath day and keep it holy.
And then there's those people out there who are going to be like, oh, the Sabbath was fulfilled in Christ. No need to keep Sabbath.
Yeah.
Keep your Sabbath.
That would be sad. I mean,
that's where I came from. Before I came up here, that was the community I came from, was very much like the Sabbath was fulfilled in Christ. And so, generally don't work. But if you, work if you want. If you don't, it's whatever, they're just really wishy-washy on it.
Well, yeah, work is, I think you can expend effort, just it has to be something that you don't hate. Otherwise, that's kind of a violation of the Sabbatarian spirit, if not the law.
You mean doing something you hate on the...
Like, I know my family does not necessarily agree with this, but I'm fine with somebody like exercising or something on the Sabbath if they're enjoying that. If they would feel worse if they didn't exercise, because it's so much a part of their identity and routine and habit that they just kind of feel sluggish and undopaminergic if they don't kind of kickstart their body with some invigorating activity. I can, you're working out, but whatever, you're enjoying it, so it's actually, I find that sticks more closely to the rule of the Sabbath than abstaining from it and then not liking
enjoying your day.
Yeah.
No, that's actually good. Yeah, if it's not like,
check if this is still recording.
If it's not your occupation, like if it's not something you would have to do every other day of the week, like work or whatnot, like if your occupation is a plumber and you're plumbing, 6 days a week, and then Sunday someone calls not for an urgent job of necessity, but just one of, hey, could you come over? In that case, say no, I guess, if it's not out of necessity or grace. But for something like working out, that's not an occupation. And so then you're kind of, if it's your routine, do it.
Yeah, I've done video editing on the Sabbath before, and I'm probably going to do it today. Actually, I probably won't because my day is full.
He has a pretty stacked Sabbath.
But, that's some people's jobs, but I enjoy content creation, so it's more of a gratifying hobby to me than it is probably to other people who do it 8 hours a day. Anyway, any other thoughts on Moscow? I like our little parks. The Arboretum is goated if you haven't been there.
I've not been there.
It's generally best in the summer. Right now, it's kind of depleted of its leaves.
But that's what I will say about Moscow is
I love the Arboretum. I'm gonna marry it.
The amount of recreational space is very nice. The parks are really cool. Back home we had cool parks, but not like this. Like East City Park, good park.
Yeah, and generally, ours are utilized because people in Moscow do things. There are
That's true.
NSA students courting over in that direction.
That's true. We should just take and walk over and set it up in front of them. Yeah, no, there is a
Dude,
couple.
What a stereotype. We cannot ever brush off the accusations and things because we just happened to break out a video, and there are actually NSA students courting in the park as we speak on a bench. That's every single one of the stereotypes. It's not in Friendship Square, I'll give them that.
Yeah,
but
they went somewhere else.
It's every single other NSA stereotype.
Yeah, no, that is actually true. I came over today and I was walking through the park, before we started the video, and I was like, oh, I see them.
Yep, there they are. Easter egg identified.
Planning, their future together or whatever.
Yes.
But that is something, that
Precious.
the stereotype of the MRS degree, or MR degree, for people that are coming up.
That's funny.
You would be surprised. There are people who are like, screw education. I'm paying, $18,000 or whatever the tuition is whenever you watch this video, if you do. Paying so much money to just, meet guys or girls.
Some of the
While some people are
older
actually
students, that's even more true of them than younger.
that is very true.
But can we indict them? It works.
Yeah, no, it's true. And then there are people here who are actually here for education. If they get married along the way, it's just a blessing
Then
Lord
they're
gave them.
upset. There are some of these
Are
ladies,
they actually?
man.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
hyper focused.
Dang. If you're one of those
I'll
people,
kill you
liven up,
if you give me a diamond ring.
stay loose,
Never.
but
Liven up, stay
also
loose.
for freshmen, another tip for freshmen: don't court as freshmen. If you are the average freshman age, which for our class